Hi, I'm Susan, and my curiosity about how nature comes back after a forest fire has brought me to this location. I'm standing in what used to be a beautiful conifer forest, but as you can see, it's no longer a beautiful conifer forest. Unfortunately, a very severe fire came through here about 9 years ago, and what's only left of the conifers are the dead standing trees. And what's happened is it's become a brushland. Unfortunately, this is a very common thing that occurs after a severe fire in a conifer forest. What happens is this brush starts growing very quickly because all of a sudden, without the cover of the conifers shading the sunlight from getting through to the floor of the forest, these undergrowth plants now all of a sudden go, yippee, it's time to start growing. And they grow very fast. And unfortunately, they grow faster than any little conifer that could have been left as a seed after the fire. So what happens is the conifers get outcompeted and the brush has the advantage for regrowth, suppressing the return of the conifers. There are signs of hope. Look at this. We have a ponderosa pine that has been able to make it out of the shade underneath this brush. So this is a good sign, and perhaps over time more and more of these conifers will be able to outcompete the underbrush and will then reestablish what the ecosystem that it used to have, where the overstory is shading out the understory. So maybe with time this forest will be able to be reestablished the way that it was before the fire. Go nature. And sometimes the forest can get a little help from a friend. In this case, the friend is the U.S. Forest Service. I'm still in the same conifer forest that was burned 9 years ago, but in this area, the U.S. Forest Service has been doing some forest reforestation work. They are suppressing the shrubs from growing up and planting new seedlings or allowing existing seedlings to get the sun exposure that they need to grow, be healthy, and then outcompete the shrubs and naturally and allow for the forest to regenerate to its original state. And you can see that it's doing pretty well. The conifers are growing healthily and on their way to bringing back a nice conifer forest. What's really cool about conifers is that you can tell how old they are by looking at the number of branch points along the main trunk. And what's incredible is that the distance between each branch point, say between this one and this one, is 1 year of growth. Can you imagine? That's almost a foot of growth in 1 year. So for this conifer, if I count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would say this conifer is 5 years old. What's really amazing is the scale that the U.S. Forest Service has been able to do on their reforestation effort. You can see in the background the hills way in the distance. That area was not damaged by the forest, and so you see the beautiful conifer forest. But in between, all these young growing trees were planted by the U.S. Forest Service, and they're now coming back, really helping to facilitate the recovery of from this severely burned fire. So I hope you can see from the scan the scale of the reforestation effort the U.S. Forest Service has done in this severely damaged forest. So hopefully the partnership between the U.S. Forest Service and nature, this area can come back to be the gorgeous conifer forest that it once was. Go nature with a little help from your friend.